Welcome back. boAt is one of most exciting startups that has emerged in the recent years. But how did boAt go from being a challenger brand to one of the leading consumer tech companies in India? We find out more about the brand's journey from Vivek Gambhir, CEO of boAt. In an interview with Dilshad Irani, he also shares what lies ahead for the brand, winning growth strategies and marketing plans.
It's been an absolutely exciting time for startups and new emerging brands in India. Lots of highs, lots of lows. So let me begin by asking you a little bit about, what's your report card for this past year been like?
For us, I think it's been an incredible journey thus far. And over the last few months or so, we've continued to really strengthen our business and maintain our strong growth momentum. We have crossed over 3,000 crores in revenue. We are now the number 2 brand globally in the earwear category and the number 5 brand globally in the wearables category. And so the other brands are the likes of Apple, Samsung, and a couple of the Chinese players. So it's a matter of great pride that a brand that was born in India in such a short amount of time has earned so much brand love to be now amongst the biggest brands in the world.
Do you still consider boAt a challenger brand then? Has it shed its challenger brand mindset?
Absolutely not. We recognize, look, when boAt started, there were a couple of hundred brands that had started in India at the same time. And we were competing against players who were much, much larger than us. And even today, some of our competitors are very large global companies that are significantly, bigger than us. And so while it is a matter of pride that an Indian brand has managed to achieve leadership position where our market share today in personal audio is almost 4 times more than the number 2 player. In spite of that, I think, I believe that the future is even more exciting. So being paranoid, being humble, being agile, and being obsessed with consumers, that's what really keeps on getting us going.
You joined boAt in 2021, early 2021, and you came from well-established legacy companies like Bain and then Godrej, where you were CEO. So tell me, what were some of the goals that you set, some personal goals that you set for yourself at boAt, and how far along are you in terms of achieving them?
My mandate with Aman and Samir, it was about adding muscle to the hustle, as we called it. There are some incredible qualities that has made boAt successful so far, but we also know that what got us here will not get us in the future. So being able to preserve the legacy, preserve the values, and shape the culture, enter new categories, think of bigger dreams, scaling up the company, I think essentially that's been my mission. But the idea is to work very closely with both the co-founders who are still very involved in the business. And I think what we keep on saying is there a way for 1 + 1 + 1 to really make this a much, much more bigger entity? We call ourselves the 3 idiots, and so, but the idea is to work together with them very closely to really now make boAt a truly admired global company.
So the company recently announced that it was withdrawing its IPO plans, and you raised about $60 million recently. So let's talk a little bit about that. Where will these new funds go? What will it go towards sort of building for boAt? And will it be a premiumization strategy that you're looking at, global expansion? Let's get a little bit into that.
3 main areas where we will deploy the funds. The first area is to really make smartwatches or wearables as our next core. We entered this category relatively late, about 18 months ago. Within a very short amount of time, some of the best-selling watches are boAt watches. And so we want to deploy this money to essentially, create a health and wellness ecosystem. A lot of the game that's being played today is largely a hardware game in watches. Our belief is that if you truly want to make watches relevant, useful, and really make it part of consumers' lifestyles, we really now need to start investing in creating a platform that allows us to offer much more advanced features, better analytics, and much more reliability. The game will change from hardware to much more of a software play. And we are one of the very few companies in the world which actually owns our entire end-to-end platform. So being able to own the platform and driving it to be able to offer these features, that's going to be the first area of focus. The second is to continue investing in the audio, personal audio category. While we are clear market leaders there, there are significant opportunities that we are seeing to be able to build much more stronger R&D and also start playing in the premium category, as you were mentioning. And then the third priority for investment really is around making in India. And for us, it's not about just make in India, but it's about make in India and also engineer and design in India as well. This year, almost 40% of our manufacturing volume will be produced locally in India. This was almost 0% last year. So that's the big shift we are making to be able to really be a company that's viewed for very strong tech leadership across the world.
Vivek, it was lovely chatting with you, and thank you so much.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure.